So today, lads, we're going to be talking about something, and this is about the Olympics, and it's an excerpt from Christine Brennan's book. And again, Christine Brennan's book, you better believe once that actually releases, there's going to be a million channels on this game, on that game. I will be playing more, or I'll be talking more about that than Sophie Cunningham. But at the end of the day, this is something that is really interesting. It is really interesting around the Olympics. And at this stage, I don't think that there was ever a chance of making the 5v5. And I don't know why there was ever that hope being given to her and that hope being given to fans. It was just a string along fans. Because if you listen to this right here, it seems like she was offered a chance to play in the 3v3 and said no, and they were pissed off at that. But also I will be live breaking down the game, and I rewatched the game, and I'm going to be going over play by play. Yes, Stephanie White is legitimately as bad as Christy Sides when it comes to just in-game adjustments. She's just not it. She's just not it at all. So the 3v3 tournament was held in temporary stadium at Placide de la Concorde, where the guillotine was located during the French Revolution. The music blared and the DJ-style announcer talked incessantly. The atmosphere was light and fun, but there was no mistaking this relatively new addition to the Olympics for the venerable 5v5 game. Nonetheless, USA Basketball was asking, was this a possibility? Did Caitlin want to go to Paris for the 3v3 team? The answer from Clark and her team was simple, no. She did not want to go to Paris. So we're now at the stage where Team USA tried to get her to play 3-on-3 basketball. And by the way, style of basketball, I don't think she's very good at. 3v3 basketball involves switchability, involves 1v1 defense, and involves isolation scoring. I don't think she'd be a great 3-on-3 player. We can be honest, I don't think she would be. Because she kind of gets other players involved. It's not her game. But they were still trying to kind of make right by saying, you know what, we screwed up. We screwed up about the 3-on-3 team. But it is funny when it comes to Christine Brennan, some of the stuff she said. There's another excerpt from it, and it was like, it's becoming more and clear why they left Caitlin Clark off. And they were like, was it because of ability? Was it because of this? And it was like, simply put, because they wanted to. And that's the best way to describe it. They didn't want her there. There doesn't have to be any rhyme or reason to it, because a lot of the time they're out there trying to give reasons to it. They're trying to justify it. And they were like, oh, we didn't bring her for this reason, we didn't bring her for that reason. When the reality is they just didn't want her. They didn't want her. I don't know if they wanted Caitlin Clark. They either didn't want Caitlin Clark to play or didn't want Caitlin Clark the person. We don't know. They didn't want her there. I think there's no point really being worried about that, or really going too getting too into that. And they still tried to make do by being like, oh, look, we can bring her to the Olympics. We can bring her to the Olympics. She can play 3-on-3. And the funny thing is they were asking, was it a possibility? And do you want to know what the answer is? No. The answer is actually no. The rules of FIBA basketball, and by the way, I do think the FIBA would have changed it. I think they would have changed their rules to get Caitlin Clark playing, realistically, in 3-on-3. I think they would have changed their rules for eligibility. However, to be eligible for the 3-on-3 team in the Olympics, you have to be ranked in the top. It's you need 2 players ranked in the top 10 of your country, and you need 2 players ranked in the top 50 of your country. Caitlin Clark never played a 3-on-3 tournament. She was unranked. Players they could have brought in. So, what's her name was in it? What's her name was in the pool. It was Kelsey Mitchell could have been brought, because I think Ryan Howard was top 50, Dearica Hamby was top 50, Van Lith was top 10, and Broderick was top 10. But Brink was also top 10, so they could have not brought, was it Broderick? They could have not brought the other non-WNBA player and brought Hamby initially, but they brought her, because Brink was in the top 10. But when they got rid of Brink, they would have had to bring a top 50. So players that were in the pool were Katie Lou Samuelson, Lexi Hull, Dearica Hamby, obviously, because Ryan Howard was there. Kelsey Mitchell was in it. And they chose Hamby, which isn't a bad choice. Hamby was an all-star. But there was no way. There was no way that Caitlin Clark was going to be chosen for the team, because there are rules. There are rules about 3-on-3 basketball. Like, the rules are essentially there so that Team USA men's can't just send out. I'm trying to think who didn't make the team. Did Paolo make the Olympic team? Let's just say, hypothetically, Paolo, Brunson make the Olympic team. Basically, 3 top NBA players. And again, I don't like the rules, by the way, but that's why the rules are there. That's why the rules are there. They brought in the rules, simply put, because they don't want it just to be straight up. They don't want it to be just a straight up NBA players never playing 3-on-3 and then just deciding, you know what, we're gonna go today. We're gonna go and all enter the Olympics now as Team USA, and we're just gonna walk it. Whereas the 3-on-3 players don't get a chance. Again, I don't like the rules, but let's be real. Let's be real. That's why the rules ended up happening. It's why the rules were there. But yeah, it's just an all-around not great situation, if we're being honest. It's an all-around not great situation. It was an all-around not good situation for Caitlin Clark in the Olympics. And obviously, Christine Brennan's book covering a lot of Caitlin Clark's rookie year, we have to just admit it, the whole Team USA discourse was a large part of the first half of Caitlin Clark's season. And then it didn't stop when Team USA almost lost the Olympics. And yeah, this is a kind of crazy take from Christine Brennan finding out that Team USA were trying to get her to play 3v3 when she wasn't allowed. Like, based on FIBA rules, she was never going to be allowed to play. And according to Christine Brennan, they were still talking about maybe we could figure out a way to get her to play. And to be fair, the only way they could have got her to play was her missing time in the WNBA season to go play in a couple of 3-on-3 tournaments. Because I'm pretty sure there were World Series 3-on-3 tournaments that could have gotten her into the top 50. But she would have had to have missed some WNBA games, which was obviously never going to happen. But yeah, that's a shocking story. That is an absolutely shocking story. And obviously, yeah, she just said, you know what, it's just not worth it. Obviously, this is an excerpt from People magazine. This Christine Brennan book is going to be crazy. And the one thing I will say is, when it comes to this Christine Brennan book, it would have hit a lot harder a week ago before Caitlin Clark seems to have lost her smile. Before Caitlin Clark seems to have... It seems like everything got to her. Just all the outside basketball stuff. So I will be streaming about an hour from now. I'll stream for 2 hours. I'll be breaking down the game. I'll be breaking down everything I've seen. And we'll be breaking down just what the hell is wrong. Because I'm looking at, like, Quita's just gone off. Robin's live right now. So I'll give those time to stream, and I'll be hopping on after them if you guys want to watch. So anyway, I'll see you guys.